So I want to talk about why I really want to study medicine and become a doctor, and how it became clear to me ever since I stepped foot in Westmead Emergency Department when I was 16, as part of work experience. And I also want to talk about why I really want to study at Notre Dame. The first reason why I want to do medicine is because I've seen the difference good care can make to people's lives. I've been working as a disability support worker for 3 years now with Riverlink Disability Services, and I support kids with autism. And I've seen that even when you manage simple things like when they go to the bathroom, or delivering medication on time, or making sure they have their meals on time, when I do these simple things right, it results in good care to them and they end up having a really enjoyable day. So I want to use medicine as a vehicle to deliver good care to people and get people back to their lives, and not just lying on a hospital bed. I also want to study medicine, because I've seen so many people around the world and here in Sydney lack access to basic medical services, and it's really, really appalling. I've been working, for example, I've been working with Reladev, which is an AusAid agency, and they go on overseas. They fund overseas aid projects. The last 2 years we've been on a remote Pacific island called Espiritu Santo. It's the northernmost island of Vanuatu, and we went there to help construct new facilities for a local high school. However, we had to bring our own doctor because there were no medical services on the island. And unfortunately, one of us did suffer a head injury, but luckily we actually had a doctor present to attend to those injuries. But that experience reminded me of just how many people around the world don't have access to basic care and to a doctor. So I want to use medicine to come up with new solutions to provide care to and access to medical services to people who really need it in these sort of remote or regional sort of locations. The other reason why I want to study medicine is because I actually just love learning about it. That's why I went to university and I studied the medical sciences, and I went on to do an honours project. I just loved actually sort of geeking out and sort of learning about how the body works. And when I'm really interested in something, I really, really go for it. Right now, I really want to perform at the end of the year at a bar, restaurant, if things open up. So I set myself a goal now, and I'm trying to learn 20 songs on the guitar, singing and playing. And I try and practice a little bit every day. Also, I love to read, and I love learning about, my favorite subject is 20th century history. And I've been trying to get trying to get my hands on every book I can about the subject. And so far, my favorite book is Ordinary Men by Christopher Browning. Now, I kind of want to talk about why I really want to study at Notre Dame. And the first reason, I think the main reason, is because I've heard that the student support there is first class. Starting with the teaching staff, I know that they're very well respected academics in their fields, and the clinicians there are very professional, and that sort of is very attractive to me. But also because the course itself is structured in a way that that these sort of big concepts or big modules are revisited over time, this sort of spiral approach. And I think I'll really benefit over that, because it will really help me have sort of a really practical working knowledge of the medical sciences. I'm also really happy to hear that Notre Dame has pastoral support. I had this at my high school and I really benefited from it. So much so that I sought out its services throughout my university studies. And so I'm happy to see that this option's available at Notre Dame. Another reason why I want to go to Notre Dame is because they have, because they're very interested and very passionate about some big public health issues that Australia faces, and that's evident in the bioethics component of the course that takes place in first year. And I'm really looking forward to it because I know that Professor Margaret Somerville runs the course, and I like her take on euthanasia and how it sort of has this wider impact on society, and it's sort of tilting society towards a culture of death. So I'm really excited to learn from her and her views on all the different ethical issues there are. I also wanted to go to Notre Dame because I've heard the cohort is very culturally diverse, which is very important to me as a second generation Korean. I love to share my food and my culture and love to learn from other people's culture. But also I've heard that the cohort is very diverse in medical experience. A lot of former allied health professionals or nurses and paramedics, sorry. And if I'm learning alongside of them, I think it's just going to benefit me enormously because they're just going to have such depth of insight.